Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you are viewing this. Hold on, let me start Instagram. Hold on. Hold on. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you are viewing this live. It is after the fourth, so had to jump on. Said, what am I talk about? What am I talk about? This is the next 6 months for us, right? July, August, September, October, November, December. What am I talk about? You know what? One thing I'm going to talk about Project 2025. How it will affect nonprofits. Okay, I had to research it. I had to read some of the Project 2025. Everybody know with the new administration, they made up this thing called Project 2025, and it's a lot of information. But I only picked out what is going to be affecting the nonprofit organizations because I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it already. And Project 2025 is supposed to affect everything from the budget and that's for 2026. It is all happening now. Okay, I see it, I feel it, and I'm going to talk about it. So I wrote some things down as I went in on Wikipedia. That's cold water. As I went on Wikipedia, as I went on nonprofits, um, project 2025 versus nonprofits. That's what I brought up, and the stuff that came up, I was like, oh boy. So, okay, here we go. Now, this is after the holiday, and before the holiday, there was a bill, right? The big, beautiful bill, and the majority of stuff that went on that bill was the whole stuff, everything was about cuts, right? About cuts to healthcare, um, small businesses, um, buying cars, insurances, banks, everything that they could possibly cut. What there was a cut in there, supposedly to save money. Okay, that is what it's always about, to save money. All right. But at whose expense? At whose expense? So here we go. July 2025. Nonprofit do's and nonprofit don'ts. In this age of cuts to nonprofits and the growth to nonprofits, paying attention for the executive leaders of the nonprofits is crucial. You must. You must pay attention. First thing you must pay attention to is your board, your team, whoever is rocking with you, whoever is not. You must put everything in place. You cannot be lollygagging about that. Everything must be in place. One thing is that the funding, if you get funding, if you do fundraisers, if you have uh, a group of or a list of donors and supporters, all that must be in place now. Exactly how they're doing that big budget, that big bill, you must have your stuff in place too. And I'm an executive leader because I'm definitely putting ours in place quarterly, like every 3 months, and then every 4 months. And this is around the time for the second quarter of the year, even if it's in 6 months, 6 months. Now, nonprofits lose nonprofits lose if cuts to food distribution happens. Food distributions are nonprofit pantries, churches, establishments that have big, have the hookup, so you say, to places where you can get produce and clothes and services, extra like social services, but extra other than from like a government, right? Any food distributions that is happening is getting cuts. So, what do you think going to happen to the nonprofit leaders who count on those distributions to go to them to give out to their communities that they serve? Service. We here? We here? Service. If you are a service worker in your not as a nonprofit, meaning ours is to seniors and to the unhoused that are physically on the streets, right? I mean, it goes on to children, it can go on to adults who really need also, but that is our mission. If these organizations, food distributions, do not get, it's going to trickle down. It's going to be a trickle effect. I felt it January when administration, like January 20th, when administration was actually, the new administration was actually in. I felt it because it's a regular thing for me being in the fourth year to go to the donors, the supporters, and ask for a donation for the event for like Black History Month, Father's Day, Mother's Day, Women's Month, whatever the event we was having. But I felt a little on edge asking because they are going through the same thing. And these are the people, organizations that I get from. So it was time to play it out to see how it was going. And it was actually that. A couple organizations which are stores say, oh no, we not giving no more this year. You don't know if that's true or not. I wish there was a way to find out. You don't know if that's true or not, but and it's not that they have to give you a nonprofit. It is part of I would say a moral thing, or like serving your community, because we build their businesses by our dollars. I would say you will be smart enough not to get that word around that you're not giving to nonprofits. So yeah, lots of them do give. But I started feeling it after the new administration was in office, and I said, I have to start asking. And it's always 2 weeks or 3 weeks before that I start, right? I felt it. I felt like, oh my gosh. And like, oh, I don't think they're going to give us. And then they gave, and then it just felt a little leery. Okay, so nonprofits can lose if the cuts go to food distributions, right? If the cuts go to stores that been given us, we have Food Bazaar, Western Beef, um, ShopRite, McDonald's, um, Trader Joe's, um, Dunkin' Donuts. We have what is the name? Operation Warm. That's who give coats. We have the National Each One Teach One organization. We have Stop the Bullying organization. We have now joined two chambers of commerce, one in the Bronx and one in Harlem. So we have to be actually paying attention, not we, me, because I'm the head of the organization, I'm the executive. have to make sure I'm more knowledgeable about what's going on with this project 2025. So I started Wikipediaing it. I said, it's Monday, let's get this going. And we having a board meeting this evening. So I want to talk to the board about strategical plans that's about to happen, that looking forward, and what has already happened, and to let them know it's like this for nonprofits, but it's always a solution to something. So what I looked up was public charities are prohibited. No, that this is one of the things, because I'm gonna tell you that a few people always come to me. Did you go to the politicians? Did you ask the politicians for this or that? They always have perks on stuff to get. I said, yeah, that's because they campaigning. Nonprofits, nonprofits, public charities are prohibited by law from endorsing special candidates for public offices. They often weigh in on issues of public policy. So it's like a conflict of interest. Not that you can't coincide and do work with them, you just cannot um, campaign for them as a nonprofit leader, as a 501c3 nonprofit leader. It's like a conflict of interest. But of course, they can give you stuff and you can say thank you very much. Because I got tons of book bags before. The next book bags came from Virgo's office. And, you can do stuff like that. And they can do stuff like that for your community, but you just can't go like electioneering and stuff for them. It's prohibited by law. So your 501c3. And the reason I'm talking about all this because I stream on YouTube. Our YouTube channel, I'm doing more educational and training on the things that I'm learning as we go as a nonprofit leader. So your 501c3, if you are one who has one, tax information for is tax information for charitable organizations. So when you have a 501c3, it tells you all the protocol of what to do to keep it up. Um, it also lets you know of how it is governed. It's not governmental. It is governed. What it is that your organization name go through the state um, locator. So if you put in Lil's, if you're looking for a nonprofit, and you put in Lil's for nonprofit, senior, and homeless, we're going to pop up. We're going to pop up. And then the rest, you'll see everything else about how we started or whatever they have on that locator bank. But we definitely will pop up. Um, there's something called a life cycle information. Pay attention to irs.gov for tax exempt social welfare organizations. That's another part of being in the nonprofit world. Charity and nonprofits can be audited, and there's two types of audits. There's a type of audit that has field audit, like if you're out in the field doing your work, like I do field work. I go to nonprofits pantry and they give our organization stuff. They're audited for knowing the paperwork that I have to fill out saying we give to those for nonprofit seniors and homeless court. Then you have an office audit, which is your paperwork, right? I have to keep up my paperwork. We do a 990 card because we don't make over 50,000 in revenue. So 50,000 and under, you just do a 990 card showing how much you made, whatever, as a tax exempt, and that's why you need books to be kept. Okay, so I'm gonna just tell you one other thing about charity and nonprofit audits. Non-audits. Non-audits. I was researching this morning. So they have non-audits also. Okay, non-audits. So they have something called the CEP. Look it up. Look it up. So in CEP 2025, state or of nonprofits report. So there's a nonprofit report getting ready to happen, and that's going to be July 10th, 2025. So that's why I'm informing other prospective nonprofit leaders to get on that list. Register. Just go to CEP. Mm. Just go to CEP 2025, and that is the State of Nonprofits Report. Nonprofits leaders share the challenges they are facing, including that of fear of not getting stuff from that they've been getting. Like, suppose I would say we have a big donation coming in, and it comes in one big time every year, and all of a sudden it's about to stop because of the cuts they can't give, right? So the polarized and unpredictable political climate poses risks to their funding, their organizational missions and values, and the communities they serve. So they having a whole platform that's going to be on a Zoom. And as a nonprofit leader, you can register. Just go on CEP's 2025 and you'll see all the information. So some of the challenges they put up there already, and that was staffing is a key challenge. Burnout remains a top concern. And these are nonprofit organizations that we as nonprofit leaders get from. These are the things that they're facing. Navigating complexity and challenge right now is what we all facing. And that's the name of the um, agenda of the platform that we're going to be on, to be able to give our feedback to the funders, and the funders give their feedback to us, letting us know the cuts that's happening and what you can do and what's going to go on. So it's called Negativity, Complexity, and Challenge. Nonprofits needs and funders responses. So that's going to be July 10th at 12 p.m. You must register for it though. So listen to this. This was in when I put up Wikipedia nonprofits facing the Project 2025. It said the polarized and unpredictable political climate poses risks to their funding, their organizational mission and values, and the communities they serve. I did read that already, but it is true. It is so true. From going to a community department where we get something called health bucks, we were cut, and they told us there was something about our redemption rate, part of funding. If you don't fulfill that redemption rate, you are actually going to be um, cut down on what you get. I don't really believe that, but okay. What you gonna say? So you go back to your community and tell them that your organization has been cut that part of the funding to get fresh farmers food from the farmers market because they're saying that it wasn't all spent. Like it don't go back. It's not spent. It's just so you're cut. So I'm like, okay. And I talked to someone who knows about that stuff, and I'm believing part of it, but part of it I'm not, because if our organization is being cut for something we didn't use, why are we being cut? Why are you just not telling us or showing us a better way to do these things or have a meeting? Listen, listen. I came up with suggestions because I said the same thing. I was asking seniors, did you use your health bucks? Did you shop? If they didn't have a way, or I would go shop for them, whatever. Right now, it's irrelevant because we lost part of our funding to get that. Now that we have, but less, I'm going to shop. I'm going to do the shopping. Okay? I'm going to do the full shopping and then I'll bring it to them. I didn't want to do that before because it was exhausting. And seniors want to have, what would you call it? They don't want to be babied. They want to go and do their own shopping. But no. We lost. We lost. We lost like 46% of what we was getting. So no. I'm going to do all the shopping. Matter of fact, I figured out a way to do it. I'm going to tell you in a minute. It's only 15 people that can get. Right, I already did my paperwork, calculations, everything. I will be at the farmers market, FaceTiming. Would you like this? Would you like that? That's what I will be doing, and hoping they have an iPhone to be able to do it. But we ain't gonna lose no more. No, and I think the agency that always thinks of us and still qualifying us, because they probably could have said, nope, that's it, or you don't know. No. So July 10th will be the State of Nonprofits report, and I'm going to be a part of that discussion to ask them about what's going to happen to us nonprofit leaders that get from these pantries that give to the communities. Um, what's going to happen from coats to toys to food? What is going to happen? I need to have that report given to our board, our advisory board, the communities that I serve, the liaisons, right? Okay, so the last thing is how nonprofits discuss, oh, that's going to be on the platform, how nonprofits discuss their fears, their mission, both for their communities they serve to the funders. And the funders going to give the question and answer on it too. I can't wait. July 10th. Funders and supporters will respond also. Yep. Nonprofit, also known as NPO, non-business entities, non-profit, meaning you can profit for the, the organization as fundraisers, but you can't profit for your own personal use. NPO. If you ever see any kind of organizations that give back to NPOs, that's what they mean, nonprofit organizations. You have one that I have listed and said on here before, Green Standards. Green Standards is a nonprofit that collects from furniture stores. I only think it's furniture so far. Um, and those furniture stores give to non NPOs that qualify. I mean, not qualify. NPOs, if you're an NPO, you qualify, meaning you already have your 501c3 and you're an entity. Green Standards. Go on there and see when they have furniture again. Office furniture, lamps, chairs, stuff that you can use for your brick and mortar. Or me, I have a home office. I can use it for there. I can get it and donate it. Not donate it, share it with, you gotta watch your words, and share it with another organization. All right. So yeah, there you go. NPOs are nonprofit organizations. Project 2025. That was the whole discussion why I said I'm gonna do Monday morning streaming and a live talking about how Project 2025 amplifies attacks on nonprofits, literally, from the biggest to the smallest. The biggest are AIDS foundations. The smallest could be us that service our communities with food, clothes, um, services to get other stuff, to get other stuff. Now, you might think all of that's a downfall, but one thing I know for sure, they ain't have nothing like these fundings and all of that back in the days, but they did have nonprofits. And guess what they did? They rallied around the people who had, and they all got together and gave to the block. That's what I'm from. That's what I'm from. Not somebody, not calling anybody a store or another organization to give, and maybe they'll give or maybe they don't give. I remember not going through none of that. Even though I was a kid, I never heard nobody say that they called any stores to ask them to give for this block party or that block party. They probably did, but I just didn't hear it. Now, in 2025, it is so different, but it's not. You get a whole case of something from someone like me. The people that give Lil's for nonprofit seniors and homeless corps. Wow, I'm blessed to know them. Right? All I have to do is cook food. All I have to do is put some of the stuff on ice, waters and sodas, and all I have to do is bag up the clothes, from clothes to coats to sweaters to toys. All I have to do really is ask. And you too, if you're one of them who's going to start a nonprofit, don't let your block, your home, your development where you live, your 10-block radius of where you live, go without. If you do, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. The crime rate, the robberies, the high prices of the stores that we go in, the economy is going to be whacked out because they claim this big bill budget is going to save. If you're saving and you're taking from communities that already not having a good way, who are you saving for? Right? Who are you saving for? So don't let your community go down. I'm going to do the best I can for my community where I reside and the other communities that are a part of Lil's for Nonprofit Seniors and Homeless, which is Harlem, East Side, West Side, and the Bronx. Okay? Have a beautiful day. Get your day started with drinking some water, reading, meditating, giving thanks to your higher being. Also, exercise. I'm talking to me. I'm talking to me. All right. Have a nice one. Hold on over there. Have a nice one.